So hi everybody, my name is Rachel June Smith, and today we're going to talk about how you design a scientific or engineering paper title. The paper title is one of the most important components for the success of your paper. Depending on the attractiveness of your title, others might choose to read your paper or they might choose to ignore it. So here's a golden rule for a title design. First things first, you need to choose a title that will be easily findable by search engines. So when someone searches for a similar topic, they need to see your paper title as one of the top choices. So the title should be broad enough to attract attention, but also specific enough to show how your work is different from others. So ideally, the title should convey what question is solved and how you propose to solve it, and still have it be interesting to others. This is where people will decide whether or not to read further on your paper. So here's the approach, right? Start with writing all keywords that someone would Google if they were searching for a paper like yours. So those keywords should be broad enough that people who search for related areas will find them, but also narrow enough that they will include the specifics on your particular solution. If you need help inventing keywords, search in the titles of papers that you intend to cite, and then use those in your title. Highlight the keywords that differentiate your question, your approach, your solution from any other paper that you know, because those keywords must be included in the title. And then you'll want to combine about 5 to 10 keywords, including the highlighted ones, in a sentence with other connecting or clarifying words. And then try a few different combinations before you decide on a final one. The length of the title should be somewhere between 5 to 15 words. Typically around 10 is recommended for a good title. For each word, examine if the word does not add meaning, and then remove it if it doesn't. So to identify those words, pull them out of the title and try to read it again. If it gives the same meaning, then that word's probably redundant and could be removed. So for example, mathematical formula, unless you are writing on chemical formulas or you actually want to write non-chemical formulas in your title, then the word mathematical is redundant because it's the default for formulas. There are two main types of titles. One just states the main result of your study, but the other highlights the differences between your approach and others. Choose one way or the other, but don't try to do both in your title. Learn your audience and think about who might be interested in your work. So you want to aim your title at the professor or advanced graduate student level, because those are your readers and you want to talk to them directly in your title. Some common mistakes. So writing in the title something that's not an accurate reflection of your work is a big mistake. If you don't want to use abbreviations or uncommon words. You don't want to use the words novel or new in your title. All published papers that are not surveys or reviews are novel by definition, otherwise nobody would be publishing them, so you don't want to use these words in your title. Make sure your title doesn't have a double meaning. And make sure that title only has one possible meaning and interpretation that's commonly accepted. So for example, cardiac differential equation 4 would only work if there's a single differential equation which is named cardiac, right? Be careful with titles like power play, sparking circuits and connections. That could be interpreted as work on power generation or collaborative social interactions or novel electronic circuit design. Don't use lay language in technical communication because frankly, it sounds unprofessional. And try not to use a selling pitch that reduces the scientific reader's trust in the contents of your paper. Be sure not to make a title that's too generic or too specific. So for example, the title Machine Learning for Classifying Species is too broad because it's not clear what machine learning approach was used or what kind of species were classified. On the other hand, the title Using a Directed Acyclic Graph for Classifying Goldfish in a 1x1 cubic foot aquarium is too narrow because the readers might be interested in other fish or aquariums. So that's all the tips that we have for you today. So stay tuned and we'll have more tips and tricks on academic writing. Thanks.